So here I am. I'm having another sleepless night. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, we're just gonna let that one slide for a minute. Here I am trying to write to a friend, and I've noticed I have this habit. So like, I was abused emotionally, mentally, not physically, psychologically. I can't make the words happen. It's not physically, it's psychologically. Those are all different things. Mentally, well, I don't know. Mentally might be like the overview, and then there's like emotional and psychological, and those are two different kinds of abuse. And I've had all of the brain abuses. I've experienced damn near all of it in some form to some degree, and turned into myself an abuser through some of my 20s and part of my 30s before I realized that, hey, this is what abuse is. Because I didn't know. I honestly thought that was just the way people lived, because that's how I lived. And that's how people around me seemed to live. So, that was just normal. Abuse was normal. That wasn't a thing. And so I'm at this point in my life where like I've gone through all of these stages to like know what abuse looks like, know what abuse is, know what abuse feels like when it's happening to me so that I can protect myself from it, but also when I am being abusive to others so that I can protect other people from me being abusive and continuing to perpetuate that abuse. So as I'm writing my friend today, I noticed I have this habit where I'll write something and then I'll look at it and I will literally just highlight that whole thing and erase it with the idea in my head of this is abusive. And I haven't really confronted that. Like I haven't really admitted to anyone out loud or even said to anybody out loud that I do this. It just sort of happened. I never really had the thought in my head of like, I need to edit my words all the time to make sure they're not abusive. I mean, I had thoughts of like, I don't want to be abusive. And so I'm going to try to make my spoken language not be abusive. But in my writing, I don't know. I guess I always felt like my writing to other people was sort of immune because I had more time to think about it. And now, like more and more these days, as I'm getting better at not having any vocal, like audible abusive behaviors, I'm noticing myself finding them in my writing where I'm like, it's not really like, it's really subtle. It's like these little tiny, like this little like guilt trip here. No, that's abusive. It's stuff that normal people that hadn't been abused or didn't have any understanding of what abuse looks like to notice it would never notice it. They would never see that was abusive. Do you understand like what I'm saying? I am saying I have such a deep understanding of what abuse looks like that I restrict myself from doing even it's like the white lies of abuse. You know what I mean? Like there are big lies and then there's white lies. These are like the white lies of abuse. And my brain just sort of does it now. Like I'll just look at what I'm writing, and as I'm writing, edit the abuse out. It's fantastic, but also weird and a little scary that my mind still comes up with it and then redacts it. It's like I wonder if do we ever get to a point where we just stop having the abusive thoughts? Like, can we just stop being abusive to like before the redacting? Like, does that have to still happen? I don't know. Let me know in whatever commenty form you can. I'm kind of beside myself now. I know this is going to be super short, and this is really all it is, because I just stopped in the middle of writing to somebody to record this. So I'm working on my website. You can either do it through monsteralley.com or tamonsteralley.com. It doesn't really matter. They go to the same site. And yeah, hit me up. Let me know. Do we ever stop being abusive? Like, is there a place where the thought itself stops happening? Or is this just like, I mean, and it's fine. It's fine if this is what I have to do to like protect myself and to protect other people from myself. This is fine. I can do this the rest of my life, and it's fine. I'm just wondering, does the brain ever figure it out? Does the brain ever stop being stupid and like me being able to say, no, this is abusive, abuse is wrong, finally sink in to where it just stops giving me those thoughts to begin with? I just want to know. Okay, that's it. I'll see you in the next one.